Hey everyone, here we are, now at the 7th episode, the finale, of Voltron Legendary Defender's 6th season, Defender of All Universes. And we pick up right where we left off, getting ready for the Lotor versus Team Voltron battle, mech versus mech. For a while it's a very kinetic but somewhat standard looking battle of that type, with Lotor's robots showing greater agility, energy weapon capabilities, essentially the advantages of the individual syncline ships, all efficiently combined, literally and more figuratively, into this new machine. And then we get an interesting advantage in that Lotor can use the quintessence field, despite it supposedly being closed, to teleport. And so he quickly gets to work on giving a beating to Voltron through, repeatedly going around it and just using brute strength overall. But also, as Lotor brings it back inside the quintessence field to recharge, keep it at full strength, Allura manages to use some of her recent alchemical knowledge from Oriande to provide an opening for Voltron to now enter the quintessence field, leading to the next phase of their battle taking place there. Also cool imagery in that, it would kind of seem like it's an overall white void, but there's still touches of color here and there, of occasional just interdimensional kind of detail, still providing, a limited three-dimensional combat like they did in normal space. But even with them having a bit more of an advantage against Lotor in there, Allura realizes that, like Zarkon and Unnerva before them, even a quick physical presence in the quintessence field is bringing out negative emotion, starting to cloud their judgment. So while working to keep themselves lucid, they work on trying to defeat Lotor as, his own rage and selfishness starts to reach new heights. And Allura manages to basically expel all the excess quintessence from Voltron through a powerful chest blast, severely crippling Lotor's mech. And with now Voltron weakened, they need to make their way out of there safely. And so Lotor and his big robot are less stranded in there. And unfortunately, that battle is not fully won yet, because with the several teleportations in and out of the quintessence field, it's opened up dimensional rifts that, if left unchecked, can expand and consume all of, the normal universe, in fact. So, trying to quickly get to a solution while the danger is comparatively small, Coran realizes that nice powered overload of the castle's teledove systems can seal the rifts under a moment of infinite mass and gravity. So that means they have to say goodbye to the Castle of Lions, and it means even they actually have to do it pretty quickly. So everyone packs up all they can, put it aboard the Lions, and set the systems for overload. And with that, the castle is gone, but the universe is saved. I'm not sure how this is going to pick up, but sorry if you hear some interference. It's raining right now. Somewhat heavily at the moment. Yeah, but anyway, that then leaves them with only the Lions, no main base. So they briefly settle on a nearby planet, think of their next move, also wonder how they can move forward with Shiro, the clone before them, and Keith revealing that his consciousness, his spirit is still safely within the Black Lion despite his physical death sometime back. But with another stretch of her alchemical skill, Laura manages to draw Shiro's spirit out of the lion, place it back, newly into the clone body, and so Shiro is actually alive once more. Now with fully white hair, in fact. Also, I'll have to get a new arm of some kind, because during his battle with Keith, most of it was cleaved off. But I still wonder what to do next. And it's noted that backup plans for the Castle of Lions were sent with Commander Holt, actually. So that means the Paladins are going back to Earth. So that's where this season leaves off. Again, it's kind of tricky for me to judge it as a full season, like on that merit, considering how I watch these usually one episode at a time, and also this is, in terms of original kind of standard episode count, this is more like the second half of the fourth season. But nevertheless, it was still very enjoyable. Overall, the production aspects still provided a good product. Cast and crew, great all around. I will note that, I can see that it was building for a bit, but the Altian colony situation with Lotor, I think that was sprung up a little too late. There should have been a little bit more talked about it. Like, I know there was stuff with Crowley's mission and whatnot in the previous season, but I feel like it kind of became a new plot element a little too far in. But nevertheless, I'm interested to see where that hopefully goes. There's a surviving Altean population out there. And in fact, their worldview is probably going to suffer a lot with originally worshipping Lotor and then realizing he's been severely abusing their trust, their own physical safety. So that could be an interesting, complex thing going forward. So I did mention just the plot rundown, but apparently through the pressures of the closing of the rifts, the Castle of Lions still technically survives, but as a diamond, basically. I don't think it was shown next to any of the characters, so it might be the size of a car or something. Hopefully it levitates, because I was wondering later, if it still has the same mass, then it's ridiculously dense and would probably sink through any floor. But anyway, also as I was realizing that Lotor became the villain once more towards the end of the season, I think according to like the series order, we're about 2/3 through the saga. Zarkon was the villain for the first third, Lotor for the second third, so maybe leading to the eventual wrap-up of the entire series, probably Hagar. Gotta figure out the remainder of that crazy family. Not sure when Season 7 will be released, but I'm highly looking forward to it. With possibly a noisy, rainy background. That's it for now. I'll see you sometime later with episode 51.